At this hour, preparing to depart, are NASA's Loral O'Hara, Oleg Novitskiy, the Soyuz commander, and Belarusian spaceflight participant Marina Vasilevskaya. Novitskiy and Vasilevskaya completing 14 days in space, having launched on March 23rd on the Soyuz MS-25 spacecraft, along with NASA's Tracy Dyson, who is well now into her 6-month mission aboard the International Space Station. O'Hara is completing 204 days in space, a mission spanning 3,264 orbits of the Earth and 86.5 million miles. Well, the actual transition, the formal transition of Expedition 70 to Expedition 71 on board the International Space Station begins at the time of undocking. Expedition 71 will be led by the current station commander, Oleg Novitskiy, who has spent more days in space than any other human. From left to right, you're looking at the Expedition 71 crew: Alexander Grebenkin, Tracy Dyson, Mike Barrett, Nikolai Chub, Matt Dominic, Oleg Novitskiy, and Jeanette Epps. They will continue their mission aboard the station, a mission of research and of a very busy complement of visiting vehicle traffic comings and goings over the next several weeks. As we prepare to see the 3 returning crew members enter the Soyuz, the report back from the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov is that Soyuz has been transitioned to autonomous power. And there's Loral O'Hara.
Expedition 21, and also, of course, expedition of ISS. Also, our greetings to you as well, and congratulations.
And with that, a final wave from Vasilevskaya and O'Hara, and now Novitskiy on board the Soyuz, having bid farewell to their expedition colleagues. Novitskiy and Vasilevskaya returning to Earth after 2 weeks on the station, O'Hara wrapping up 204 days aboard the orbital outpost. As Kononenko wipes down the hatchway interface before the hatches will swing closed. The International Space Station currently flying 260 miles over Osaka, Japan. The hatch closed on the Rassvet module side. It will be standing by for confirmation of the Soyuz hatch closure.
Moscow Station on Space to Ground 1. Go ahead on Space to Ground 1. The station hatch is closed. Oleg, copy all. We saw it all. Thank you. Everything is great.
And we now have confirmation that the Soyuz hatch has been closed at 7:45 p.m. Central Time, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. So hatches on both sides of the docking interface between Rassvet and the Soyuz MS-24 that you see in your view. Both of those hatches are closed right on time, as the crew now on the Soyuz side, as well as the station crew, will begin a series of leak checks at the docking interface to make sure we have a tight seal before the passageway or small vestibule between the 2 spacecraft is depressurized in preparation for undocking.
Copy.
All of the Soyuz systems in good shape as we are about to embark on the departure of the Soyuz MS-24 from the Rassvet module, beginning the journey home for NASA's Loral O'Hara, Roscosmos Soyuz commander Oleg Novitskiy, and Belarus spaceflight participant Marina Vasilevskaya. Undocking confirmed. Right on time at 10:54 p.m. Central Time, 11:54 p.m. Eastern Time. Soyuz MS-24 has broken free from its mooring at the International Space Station. Expedition 70 is complete. Expedition 71 now underway.
Copy. Observing the docking port, there are no extraneous items. Copy.
And this view from the external engineering camera on the Soyuz as it backs away from the Rassvet module.
Stand by for the operation of the depot with thrusters. Okay, copy.
Soyuz MS-24 now undocked from the International Space Station. Loral O'Hara, Oleg Novitskiy, Marina Vasilevskaya beginning the journey home. The undocking occurring 260 miles over southern Mongolia. All of the Soyuz systems in good shape, very stable. That center section of the Soyuz is where the crew is strapped into their seats. Novitskiy in the center seat, flanked on his right by Loral O'Hara and on his left by Marina Vasilevskaya. You'll hear the Russian controllers talking to Novitskiy from time to time, referencing the call sign Kazbeki. Each Soyuz commander names their craft after a call sign, in this case, a favorite mountain range of Novitskiy's.
Joined GSO, confirmed. Copy, stand by for the second burn. Copy.
That second separation burn referred to there by the Russian flight controllers through an interpreter is a 15-second burn coming up in about 20 seconds from now.
Thruster ignition.
Separation burn number 2 underway.
Thrusters are off. Copy. Let's put in the V-18 command and turn off Vizir Prichal.
And a good pair of separation burns for the Soyuz, now well underway, backing away in increasing velocity from the International Space Station. And this engineering view from the perspective of the Soyuz crew, that cross-haired data camera that you are familiar with from previous Russian operations with Soyuz and Progress vehicles.
To the transport position.
And a good view as the Soyuz crosses just past the limb of the Earth.
Moscow station on SG-1.
Отвечаем, СГ-1.
Go ahead on SG-1. Unintelligible.
Да, можно.
Наверное,
можно по времени переводить.
Yes, you can switch that according to the timeline activity. Okay, will do.
The Soyuz MS-24 continues its opening rate away from the International Space Station. The deorbit burn, we're just about 2 hours and 11 minutes away from the deorbit burn that will set the stage for the Soyuz descent module's entry back into the Earth's atmosphere and a landing on the steppe of Kazakhstan at 2:17 a.m. Central Time, 3:17 a.m. Eastern Time. At the landing site southeast of Zhezkazgan, it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon with just a few clouds at 10,000 feet, winds out of the southwest at about 6 knots, and the temperature expected to be around 60 degrees Fahrenheit for a balmy spring return to Earth for Loral O'Hara, Oleg Novitskiy, and Marina Vasilevskaya. We're standing by for visual confirmation from the search and recovery forces that the Soyuz is now descending under its parachute. Coming up on 12.5 minutes until touchdown. And there's the video on the front screen of the Russian Mission Control Center of the Soyuz under its main chute, and that white vapor that you see is the combination of hydrogen peroxide and oxygen being vented from the life support system tank. That is nominal. Time to touchdown, 11 minutes, 40 seconds. The large orange and white chute is fully reefed. The Soyuz descending at a nominal rate. Visual contact from the search and recovery forces. 11 minutes until touchdown. Now we're getting our full view of the Soyuz descending under its chute. The heat shield has been jettisoned. That is a radio beacon signal from the Soyuz, used for tracking purposes for the search and recovery forces. Just over a minute until touchdown, 600 meters off the ground.
Космос 906. Группа 4 единицы. Подходим к объекту. Берем на сопровождение.
4 units are approaching the object. I can see the ground now. The altitude is 500 meters. Can you see a helicopter? No, I can't.
There is one of the Russian Mi-8 helicopters circling the vicinity, another one. Once the Soyuz touches down, so will those helos in sequential fashion to begin the heart of the extraction process as they remove the crew from the descent module. We should see the horizon here any moment.
All right, we will be keeping silent here and waiting for the landing.
And we have touchdown. Touchdown at 2:17 a.m. Central Time, 3:17 a.m. Eastern Time, 12:17 p.m. at the landing site. Loral O'Hara back on terra firma after 204 days in space.
Посадочный 360. На свои места.
Please assume your positions.
And as they say, timing is everything, as we now are back at the landing site, watching the beginning of the extraction of the crew, the search and recovery forces, the RSC Energia personnel on the scene to begin removing the crew members one by one. They'll be placed in chairs right by the capsule so that they can have a few minutes to regain their land legs. The scene at the landing site where the Soyuz MS-24 touched down about 20 minutes ago.
What are you guys doing here?
You can see the 3 chairs set up for the crew members who will be extracted and placed in those chairs to have a few minutes to regain their land legs. They'll then be carried into a nearby inflatable medical tent for preliminary medical exams and to remove their Sokol launch and entry suits.
All right. Grab the leg and grab the arm. Looks like everything is fine.
This should be the Soyuz commander, Oleg Novitskiy. First out from the center seat. That makes the extraction of the other 2 much easier.
We are broadcasting straight to MCCM.
And Loral O'Hara now out of the Soyuz MS-24. O'Hara back on Earth after 204 days in space.
All right, please grab her. Very careful with her leg. All right, got her.
Marina Vasilevskaya now out of the Soyuz MS-24. All 3 crew members enjoying sunshine and fresh air.
A little further. Don't overcrowd, please. Take a couple of steps back. 2 more steps back, please, everyone. And I wish all people on Earth to treasure and cherish what they have, because this is precious.
And a good view of Loral O'Hara with a thumbs up. Each of the crew members being presented with a Matryoshka doll, the stacking dolls that bear the resemblance of each crew member.
All right, you guys are good? Yes. All right. Не надо, спасибо. Она пойдет третья.
Нет, пускай еще поснимает.
Marina is in excellent health.
Welcome home.
NASA astronaut Loral O'Hara flashing a smile. back home after 204 days in space.
Place all 3 crew members closer to each other.
Все, начинают командировать.
All right, they will be starting transporting the crew commander. Please make way.
And now the process of bringing the crew members one by one in their chairs to the nearby inflatable medical tent, Novitskiy first.
Be very careful, there are some wires on the ground.
And in a tradition, Novitskiy signing his name to his Soyuz spacecraft.
Thank you for your work. All right, I'm done. Please sit in your seat.
Oleg Novitskiy being carried, as is the tradition, into the inflatable medical tent nearby, where he will undergo initial medical exams and change into more comfortable clothing, removing his Sokol launch and entry suit. So with Soyuz MS-24 safely back on Earth and the 3 crew members in good shape, next up, an astronomical phenomenon that doesn't occur every day, the well-publicized and much anticipated total solar eclipse that will cross the United States on Monday, April 8th. NASA television will provide end-to-end coverage of the eclipse beginning at 12 noon Central Time on Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, with locations throughout the United States participating in the revelry of this rarely seen event where the moon will pass directly in front of the sun, creating darkness in areas of the United States that will be seeing at least partial, if not total, shadowing of the Earth. We will also be receiving views of the moon shadow on the Earth from the crew aboard the International Space Station. External cameras on the station will be trained on the Earth during a time frame of about 2:39 to 2:49 p.m. Central Time, 3:29 to 3:39 p.m. Eastern Time, as part of the live coverage of the 2024 total solar eclipse of the sun. So be sure to tune in for that on Monday, April 8th.